this channel. Don't forget to like this video, comment, share, subscribe, and press the notification button so that you'll be able to enjoy our video whenever we post. Remain blessed as I do so. Mr. Michael Chinedu Michael, the government of Finland, court of Finland, has freed about 4 people charged with Salmonella. The case is now remain only Salmonella. What does that one signal? Does it mean that federal government don't have any special case against those 4, or they cannot substantiate it? Can we expect something like that in the case of Salmonella?
It's the manipulation that is we are seeing from the Nigerian government, lack of no interest, and lack of no evidence, lack of just a deliberate attempt to sideline or to clamp down on voices who are standing against the agenda that is eating up Nigeria to death at this moment. And that is why when you look at this issue of Musa, Christopher Musa, looking at the issue of the present ambassador, Salina, Sana, or ambassador to Nigeria, Finnish ambassador to Nigeria, and look at the compromise and the body language of the statement coming from the presidency. And of course, they were denied that closely because there was no relationship between Nigeria and Finland in the first place. Then how come are they trying to put Finland to a place that you can see Alexander Stubb is already covered with blood as I'm talking to you, because the absence of what is happening in Nigeria has already been passed to the international community as I'm talking to you now. The ICC has already taken note, and the best option after is a thorough signal from charity organizations, World Civil Society organization, are telling Finland government to respect the sanity and the sanctity of the fundamental human right of whatever arrangement or whatever I think is no longer funny to the world concerning Simon Ekpa disappearance, because people doesn't know whether Simon Ekpa is already actually in custody, whether he's been deprived or house arrest, or whether he's been just put in a confinement because of his presence in the public space that seems to be a threat to Fulanis in Nigeria, and to be a threat to Fulanization and Islamic agenda in Nigeria, and the continuous infiltration of the Fulani herdsmen and Boko Haram in the major Biafran parts of the world, killing, and nobody is standing up to talk. The Eastern governors are weak, and nobody is saying anything about it. But on daily basis, our mothers and our people keep on dying in Anambra State. You can see it all over the media now, how Fulanis entered Anambra and killed people in their farms, and nobody is standing up to say anything about it. And these are voices that the Finnish government has come to understand, that this is actually... Selena, what about the lady ambassador? Is he blind, or is he not seeing that Nigerians are losing their lives on daily basis as a result of these people? And the only people that shout at them and get the word attention are being seen as terrorists. And that is where the Dr. Ngozi Irabeze took up the matter with Ibrahim Traore, and of course the Russian government, who make it very clearly. He stated it very clearly. Vladimir Putin himself said it very clearly recently after the visit of Traore, and he made it very clearly that Russia is now out to support any nation that is seeking independence and with Russian interest. Of course, that is why you see why the American man, general or whatever he calls himself, who is already targeting to destroy Traore, are being questioned at this point, by some congressmen in the House. He said, "What are you looking for in Africa?" He said he doesn't want Russia to take over Africa. Then, if we feel comfortable that Russia will be able to protect the independence of Biafra, and from the way this is going now, there is seemingly ongoing pressure on the Finnish government now to decide the fate of Simon Ekpa in a very short period, or else there's going to be consequences. And they are advising Finland to do a lot of things. They are also advising Dr. Ngozi Irabeze to start preparing for possible a treaty, that will begin to champion the globalization of recognition of Biafra. all over the world. So that is why on hitting that wall and the fell back, the AGF fell back, and everybody, there was this emergency meeting in Aso Rock on what do they do about Simon Ekpa. Now the AGF have come out to say it is very difficult for us to think about extradition because somewhere along the line, the structures that would have opened that extradition of Simon Ekpa, the Finnish government have already sent a signal by releasing those, saying they pass for and saying they are innocent. They don't find anything against them. So, but what is confusing Christopher Musa and the Nigeria AGF, Attorney General of the Federation, and of course Buhari, whose government presently is that they don't actually know where Finnish government stand on the issue that has to do with Simon Ekpa's disappearance.
Are you surprised with some of the movements of Donald Trump in the United States of America? Recently, he visited the rebel leader that took over Syria, and people were surprised. What is happening? I think he has visited Saudi Arabia twice. Is he shifting ground? Are you see Donald Trump romancing some a perceived terrorist? What is your reaction? And even before, to some extent, we were looking at Donald Trump as somebody that can help in the area of struggle of Biafra. But with what is going on now, can we still rely on Donald Trump?
I don't want to take up that mantle of recognition. And because I know that this is world politics, but Donald Trump is just new in his administration. Whether it's going to get Biafran attention or not, but I think to some level we are seeing some of his body languages in the recent opening trial of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu wouldn't have been going through this type of trial if the Donald Trump factor is not seen inside. The Nigerian government can decide to keep on adjoining and pretending and say not for the next 10 years it can happen. But there's some level of blockage of Nigerian interest in America currently now because of Nnamdi Kanu. No, I'm telling you, because of Nnamdi Kanu. You don't know. You think this trial now, they say, come, let us try, they bring another judge. You think it's ordinary? That is massive. Okay, let me tell you. You saw the Igbo army veterans, delegates from America before they left to Nigeria to America, they had a meeting with the congressmen. Didn't you watch it? Would anybody all over the world, now I'm saying it, come out and challenge me on this video that they did not see it, that they were not delegates from the Donald Trump government, that is there in Abuja, taking note, watching, spying what is actually going on. I can see how the whole thing is going. No evidence against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And you understand, assuming there was not Donald Trump there, what do you think would have been the fate of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu now?
So what you're saying is that Donald Trump is still...
of course, some of his allies has worked in the corridors of IPOB in the past. Somebody like Susie Willis, who happens to be his chief of staff currently. And we are seeing some of the congressmen, including Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson, the speaker, has identified that he was the one that brought Biafra to American Justice Department, and they signed the Biafran Charter, and it's still in Trump's government. I'm talking about Mike Johnson, the speaker. So nobody's going to deny that, But what we are saying is that, what is paramount to Donald Trump, is to make sure that the war in between Ukraine and, of course, Russia, and of course the peace in the Middle East. And Donald Trump has always been a friend of the Saudis. Right from during his second term, he always visits this. We have been friends. They signed deals a lot, and Saudi Arabia is one of the American allies. For life, till Christ come, they signed it, just like Japan. Till Christ come. So when you see American president going through those recognizing, because they want peace in that region. Israel is under pressure, military pressure from these people, and the only way is this diplomatic move. America, who is seen as the best ally of Israel, is trying to build a kind of friendship and a science on diplomatic agreement that will see peace return to Middle East. And of course, as a businessman, himself go collect money from pocket now, the waka he own, especially we can do strike there, and you can see how many billions of dollars he's just walking away from his visit on tour in, of course, the Middle East.
Mr. Chinedu, before we round up, May 30 is far a bit, but what May 30 represents in this country is different, especially to the people of the Southeast. What May 30th represents is a very hefty something, and there are some activities marked to mark that, May 30th. But I think that one of those activities is not sit down well with authority in this country, and they are trying to kick against it. What do you have to say about this? IPOP say people should sit down at home at least 12 hours, but our security force say, come on, you can go about your business. If you are in the East that day, which authority are you going to listen to?
I will honor IPOB. I will honor Biafrans. I will honor those who stood against oppression. I will also honor those who defended my reason of granting this interview today. It's not Nigeria. I will go for IPOB and I will sit at home in solidarity for the unjustified war brought by Britain and the Fulanese, the Arab world, against the Igbo people. Igbo people lost so many things, lost friends, lost neighbors. Some even deny that they are not Igbo. As a result of that war.
Because they were afraid, part of...
I don't know, whatever it is. Are we not seeing, say, we are a Igbo man? I'm an Igbo man. Of course, I'm an Igbo man. You see? I see why all of them are there talking about sitting at home. Of course, it happens all over the world. Today, Ibrahim Traore was invited to participate in the anniversary of military parade of the Second World War in Russia.
In Russia,
he
Moscow.
went there. Everybody does it. No, why is the Igbo own not a threat? Well, let me tell you, we will sit at home. If government feel that those who are doing it are not reasonable, then let the faction of Ohanese, that is Inguzo. If Inguzo, I know you when you were the youth leader of Ohanese. I know the role you played. It's like something is wrong somewhere. Respect yourself. I was sitting down with you when Nyawodo was made Ohanese president in Enugu. I'm not a kid. I'm watching you coming out to say some certain things you don't know about. Inguzo. Respect yourself. Know that over 6 million Igbos died in that war.
Mr. Chinedu, I don't want us to dig too much in this thing because May 30th is too. But before that day come, we're still going to deeper and deeper on this issue. So let us wrap this up, my people. I put it to suspense until we do another video on May 30th. Remain blessed. Thank you very much.